The classic British sitcom To the Manor Born 1979-1981 remains one of the most beloved comedies of its era, charming audiences with its wit, elegance, and timeless humor. Behind the laughter, however, were the real lives of the talented actors who brought these unforgettable characters to life, lives that were often marked by personal struggles, heartbreak, and tragedy. In this video, we take a closer look at the real-life stories and hardships faced by the cast of To the Manor Born. Peter Bowles, born on October 16, 1936 in London, became widely recognized when he assumed the role of Richard de Vere in the 1979 BBC series To the Manor Born at the age of 43. De Vere, a self-made Czech millionaire, symbolized modern ambition and the emerging new class set against the rigid traditions of the British aristocracy. With his confident and elegant demeanor, Bowles embodied the charming outsider, captivating audiences and bringing both sophistication and intrigue to the character. Yet behind this on-screen refinement lay a life marked by struggle and tragedy. Raised in post-war poverty, Bowles' family lived in a basement flat, while his father worked as a chauffeur for the upper class, a stark contrast to the millionaire persona he later portrayed. Despite his professional success, Bowles carried deep-seated class insecurities, often masked by charm, pride, and an exacting perfectionism. Known for his volatility on set, he once abandoned a film project in the 1960s, citing a producer's lack of intellectual courage. Following the success of To the Manor Born, Bowles felt increasingly typecast with limited opportunities for serious dramatic roles. His marriage to actress Susan Bennett, though affectionate, faced challenges stemming from artistic egos and rumors of infidelity during stage tours. Earlier in his life, he grappled with gambling issues and a failed restaurant venture, narrowly avoiding bankruptcy before reviving his career with the play Lytton's Diary. In later years, cancer gradually weakened him, yet Bowles retained his calm, magnetic presence. He remained a compelling figure in interviews, offering candid insights into the moral decay of fame. Peter Bowles passed away on March 17, 2022 at the age of 85, leaving behind an estate valued between $1.3 and $5 million and a legacy defined by elegance, pride, and a lifelong engagement with questions of class and ambition. Daphne Heard, born on August 21, 1904 in Plymouth, England, left her mark on British television history with her role as Mrs. Pavlovica in To the Manor Born 1979 at the age of 75. Portraying the fiery, impulsive, yet loving Czech mother of Richard de Vere, Heard combined humor, charm, and deep emotion. Her portrayal of Mrs. Pavlovica, a proud, eccentric woman fiercely devoted to her son, became one of the show's most beloved characters, contributing heart and authenticity to the series. However, Heard's personal life was far from the laughter she brought to the screen. Born into early 20th century poverty, she endured the hardships of an alcoholic father and the early death of her mother, which forced her into independence at a young age. These experiences cultivated a strong will and sharp intellect, which would later define her acting career. Prior to fame, she survived on minor theater roles, teaching elocution and living in dilapidated London flats. A dedicated and perfectionist actress, Heard was also known for her formidable temperament, unafraid to scold co-actors for underperformance. In 1978, she famously walked out of a rehearsal, denouncing the director as artistically lazy. Although she never married, rumors circulated of a secret romance with a married producer in the 1940s, reportedly delaying her career for years. In her later life, Heard resided alone in Bristol, with her cats battling arthritis and the long-term effects of smoking. She passed away on June 22, 1983, at the age of 78 from bronchitis-related complications, leaving an estate of approximately $1 million. Despite a life marked by solitude, Daphne Heard is remembered as a quintessential lady of British television, strong, witty, and uncompromising, capable of turning even minor roles into unforgettable performances. Angela Thorne, born on January 25, 1939 in Karachi, British India, became a memorable figure in British television through her portrayal of Marjorie Frobisher in To the Manor Born 1979 at the age of 40. On-screen, Marjorie was a gentle, sincere, and refined friend to Audrey Forbes Hamilton, embodying loyalty and warmth amid a transforming aristocratic landscape. Thorne infused the character with subtle charm and kindness, making Marjorie an emblem of elegance in late 20th century British television. Thorne's private life, however, was far more complex and often sorrowful. Growing up during the waning years of the British Empire, her family faced upheaval following Indian independence, instilling in her a persistent fear of obscurity. Rejected 3 times by the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art, she described the experience as a silent humiliation that lingered for years. Despite subsequent success on stage and screen, Thorne maintained a sharp, occasionally caustic disposition, once criticizing modern television as a playground for the untalented. Her long marriage to actor Peter Penry Jones endured the strains of career pressures, jealousy, and rumors of infidelity, yet remained intact until his death. Private reports hinted at a brief affair with a theater director in the 1980s, which Thorne carefully kept out of the public eye. Her children, including actor Rupert Penry Jones, recalled her as loving but distant, deeply devoted to her work and perfectionist tendencies. In her later years, Thorne's health declined, and she became increasingly disenchanted with the world of fame she had once embraced. Nonetheless, she retained her elegance and composure, though she could become irritable if dissatisfied with a role. Angela Thorne passed away at her Battersea home on June 16, 2023, at the age of 84, leaving an estate valued at roughly $5 million, including London property, a rare art collection, and royalties from her decades-long career. Her life was a delicate balance of charm and sorrow, a testament to a woman who strove to be seen even behind a polite and polished exterior. John Rudling, born on August 31, 1907 in South Norwood, London, cemented his place in British television history with his portrayal of Brabanger in To the Manor Born, 1979, at the age of 72. On screen, Brabanger embodies quiet devotion, dignity, and a calm, slightly weary presence. The archetype of a loyal butler navigating the fading grandeur of the British aristocracy. Rudling's husky voice and measured performance lent the character a subtle mix of melancholy and dry humor, reflecting a bygone era. Unbeknownst to many, this role mirrored Rudling's own temperament, a humble, dedicated artist, tempered by the hardships of life. Rudling's early years were marked by loss and adversity. His father died during World War I, leaving the family impoverished, while his mother worked as a laundress, often leaving him to roam the gray streets of London. Teased for his stutter and worn clothing, he became a quiet, introspective child, concealing his pain with humor and sharp intellect. His path to the stage was painstaking, filled with unpaid roles and repeated rejection, until he was finally recognized by the Royal Shakespeare Company. Even then, his meticulous perfectionism and stern disposition made him a challenging colleague. Off-stage, Rudling lived a quiet, solitary life and reportedly struggled with alcohol following years of setbacks. He was known for his temper on one occasion, leaving a performance mid-show after an audience member laughed during a tragic scene. The critical failure of a West End play he directed in 1965 nearly prompted him to leave acting altogether. Despite battling heart disease during To the Manor Born, Rudling remained dedicated to his craft, once collapsing on set, yet returning to work within days. In his later years, Rudling resided modestly in a small Surrey apartment, surrounded by books, scripts, and stage memories. He passed away on December 18, 1983, at the age of 76 from respiratory failure. Though he left no family and an estate of less than $1 million, Rudling's legacy endures, a consummate craftsman whose Brabanger reflected both gentle sorrow and unwavering devotion. Anthony Sharp, born on June 16, 1915 in Highgate, London, brought memorable energy to the Manor Born 1979 as Major General Leamington, a loud, flamboyant, and sharply witty military figure. At 64, Sharp imbued the role with precision, authority, and a delightful touch of absurdity, perfectly complementing the series' blend of comedy and social satire. Yet beyond his polished on-screen persona lay a life shadowed by challenge and turbulence. Raised in a rigid upper-class household, dominated by a militaristic father, Sharp endured emotional neglect and corporal punishment at boarding school, fostering lifelong ambivalence toward authority. After a brief period of service in World War II, he pursued acting but faced decades of struggle in shabby theaters and low-budget films. Known for his sharp intellect and exacting standards, he was both admired and feared, earning a reputation as talented but intolerable, frequently rewriting co-stars' lines mid-performance in pursuit of perfection. His personal life mirrored his professional intensity. Sharp battled alcoholism, gambling, and financial failure, including the bankruptcy of a 1962 play, and his marriage ended in scandal. In his later years, he lived in solitude surrounded by scripts and betting slips. Anthony Sharp passed away on July 23, 1984, at the age of 69, leaving a profound mark on British theatre and television as a performer whose precision and uncompromising standards set him apart in a world rarely willing to match his exacting ideals. Gerald Sim, born on June 4, 1925 in Liverpool, became a cherished presence on British television as the gentle rector in To the Manor Born 1979 at the age of 54. His portrayal of a kind, moral, and occasionally flustered clergyman navigating the eccentricities of a declining aristocratic world brought warmth, depth, and humanity to the series. With his gentle smile, soft voice, and empathetic gaze, Sim made viewers believe in a sincere soul beneath a clerical collar. Sim's personal life, however, was marked by solitude and hardship. The youngest of 5 children during the Great Depression, he grew up in poverty with a distant father and a mentally ill mother. Bullied for his stutter and slight frame, he developed enduring insecurities and a quiet humility. While his sister Sheila Sim and brother-in-law Richard Attenborough achieved fame, Gerald carved his own path through perseverance and dedication rather than public acclaim. His career spanned hundreds of roles demonstrating professionalism and subtlety, yet behind his calm exterior lay personal struggles. During the 1970s, Sim battled depression and reliance on sleeping pills, distancing himself from colleagues. Disputes over artistic integrity with a BBC producer led to a 2-year period on a blacklist. His marriage to actress Deirdre Benner was stable but emotionally distant due to work demands. In later years, Sim sought solace in religion and philosophy, grappling with survivor's guilt after a tragedy affected the Attenborough family. Despite battling Parkinson's disease in his final years, he retained serenity and grace. Gerald Sim passed away on December 11, 2014, at the age of 89 in Northwood. He left an estate of approximately $3 million, including lifetime royalties, property, and valuable artworks. Sim's life and career remain a testament to quiet dedication, human warmth, and the enduring legacy of a man whose on-screen kindness mirrored his inner depth. Joan Blackham, born on May 15, 1946 in Wolverhampton, brought charm and subtle mischief to the Manor Born in 1980 as Diana Podge Hodge at the age of 34. Her character, a confident, witty, and slightly scandalous divorced woman, mirrored aspects of Blackham herself, combining allure with intelligence and independence. Behind this on-screen vivacity, however, lay years of struggle. Born into a working-class family unsupportive of her artistic ambitions, Blackham endured ridicule for her refined stage voice and was repeatedly rejected in the early years of her career, often relying on stand-in work or teaching acting to make ends meet. The 1970s brought personal setbacks, including a publicized breakup with a married actor, which threatened her reputation and reinforced rumors of a difficult temperament. Nevertheless, Blackham rebuilt her career, becoming a versatile and respected supporting actress in series such as The Secret Diary of Miss Jones and Judge John Deed. Her ambitions extended abroad, though Hollywood offered disappointment when she was abruptly replaced on a U.S. television project due to her age. Blackham never married and maintained a private personal life, quietly mentoring young actresses and advocating for women in film. In her final years, she faced cancer with characteristic resilience, eschewing public sympathy. Joan Blackham passed away on September 6, 2020 in London at the age of 74. Her estate, estimated at $1.5 million, included a Hampstead home and a valuable art collection. The film and television industries remember her as a formidable and nuanced talent, a woman who transformed personal adversity into strength. John Barron, born on July 1, 1914 in Morley County, Durham, was 65 when he portrayed the civil servant Lumsden in To the Manor Born 1981. On screen, Lumsden represented the archetypal, stern English authority figure, outwardly deferential yet inwardly anxious, with layers of insecurity subtly revealed through Barron's performance. His convincing portrayal resonated with audiences reflecting elements of his own disciplined, perfectionist nature. Barron's childhood was shaped by emotional isolation during World War I, growing up with a domineering father and distant mother. These early experiences instilled a meticulous self-control that would define his professional life. Known for obsessive attention to detail, Barron once left a set because a crew member mispronounced his name. He struggled with alcoholism in the 1960s, suffered public professional setbacks, including a West End dismissal following a stage collapse, and endured a reputation for being impossible to work with. His marriage to actress Joan Donald was reportedly distant, with long periods spent apart. Barron spent his later years almost reclusively grappling with fading fame and chronic health issues. He passed away on November 3, 2004 in London, at the age of 90, leaving an estate of approximately $500,000. His life was marked by discipline, obsession with control, and a quiet resilience reflected in his work as one of British television's understated but enduring talents. Penelope Keith, born on April 2, 1940 in Sutton, Surrey, became a defining figure of British television, with her role as Audrey Forbes Hamilton in To the Manor Born, 1979, at the age of 39. Audrey, a proud widow of sharp wit and dignified pride, masking deep loneliness, established Keith as an icon of elegance, admired for her subtle humor and understated charm. Behind the poised exterior, Keith's life was shaped by determination, resilience, and early hardship. Raised by a single mother after her father abandoned the family, Keith faced near poverty and mockery at school for her distinctive speech, which she meticulously trained to sound upper class. Her early acting career was fraught with obstacles, including expulsion from drama school, blacklisting by a theater company, and the gender-based challenges of working at the BBC. Renowned for her perfectionism, she sometimes left sets if her lines were altered without permission. Keith's marriage to policeman Rodney Timpson endured, despite prolonged separations, and the couple chose not to have children, a decision that allowed freedom, but also periods of isolation. In later life, she confronted depression following her mother's death and gradually withdrew from stage work, focusing on charity and rural pursuits. Now aged 85, she resides in Sussex, surrounded by gardens and art, with an estimated fortune of $13 million. Beneath her honors, damehood, BAFTA accolades, and national recognition, remains a woman forged by hardship, perseverance, and a steadfast determination to claim her place in a world that had often underestimated her. Celia Imrie, born on July 15, 1952 in Guildford, Surrey, was 27 when she portrayed Polly, the sharp-tongued and meddlesome surgical receptionist in To the Manor Born, 1979. Polly's wit and subtle observations on class quickly made her a fan favorite, reflecting the blend of charm, intelligence, and cunning that came naturally to Imrie herself. Behind her composed exterior, however, she had endured profound personal struggles. Raised in a strict and emotionally distant family, Imrie suffered from body dysmorphic disorder as a teenager, developing severe anorexia that nearly claimed her life. Her hospital experiences shaped a dark, sharp-witted humor, which became a coping mechanism in her early career. Facing sexual harassment in theater and enduring labels such as cunning secretary, she encountered repeated professional obstacles. To the Manor Born marked a breakthrough, yet her outspoken feminism and refusal to conform alienated some male producers. Personal setbacks, including a humiliating public breakup with an older actor in the late 1980s, prompted a temporary withdrawal from the stage. Imrie rebuilt her career with determination, eventually becoming a household name through roles in Calendar Girls and Bridget Jones's Diary. Choosing independence, she raised her son Angus, fathered by actor Benjamin Whitrow, on her own, defying conservative expectations. As of 2025, at 73, she enjoys a peaceful life between London and Nice, with an estimated net worth of $6 million from acting, real estate, and book royalties. Celia Imrie remains a symbol of resilience, elegant, unflinching, and unafraid to confront the darkness behind English charm. Nicholas McArdle, born in 1940, was 39 when he appeared as the village miller in To the Manor Born, 1979. His character, down-to-earth, blunt, and unpretentious, offered essential realism in a series often satirizing upper-class absurdities. McArdle's authentic portrayal reflected his own early life, raised in a poor Northern English family with an alcoholic father and a mother working multiple jobs. He developed a reserved nature and a deep-seated resentment toward social privilege. His acting career was arduous, marked by repeated rejection, poverty, and the occasional need to sleep in his car while commuting to auditions. Colleagues respected his dedication, but also noted his intensity and unpredictability, including clashes with producers, such as a prolonged dispute with a BBC director in the 1980s that stalled his television career. He eventually found stability through teaching theater and working in smaller independent projects. McArdle married late. The 10-year marriage ended amicably, and he chose not to have children, instead focusing on writing and local charitable work. As of 2025, at 85, he lives a solitary but peaceful life in rural Somerset, caring for stray cats and reading Shakespeare on long walks. His net worth is estimated at $200,000. Though largely absent from contemporary television, McArdle is revered among veteran theater circles as a symbol of integrity, a performer who never compromised his art for fame or fortune. Rula Lenska, born Rosa Marie Lubienski on September 30, 1947 in St. Neots, Cambridgeshire, was 34 when she appeared as Mademoiselle Dutoit in To the Manor Born 1981. The character, a charming, enigmatic Frenchwoman, disrupted the village's rigid social hierarchy with poised voice and subtle allure qualities that echoed Lenska's own complex personality. Born into a Polish noble family fleeing Nazi persecution, Lenska's childhood was marked by both privilege and trauma, shaped by constant parental conflict and her father's strict expectations. She began her acting career in the 1960s, quickly gaining a reputation as glamorous yet unpredictable. Fame brought its challenges. Rumors of affairs, heavy drinking, and fiery disputes on set haunted her professional life. Lenska's personal life was equally turbulent. Her first marriage to Brian Deacon ended quietly, while her second to Dennis Waterman became publicly notorious due to abuse, prompting her temporary withdrawal from television. Nevertheless, she returned to work with renewed dignity, focusing on theater and charitable causes, particularly domestic violence advocacy. One lingering regret was declining a lead role in Absolutely Fabulous, a decision that continued to haunt her. Now 78, Lenska lives quietly in London, occasionally appearing in guest television roles. Her net worth is estimated at $900,000, reflecting a career shaped by both adversity and resilience. Rula Lenska remains a compelling figure, a portrait of beauty, endurance, and the price of survival in the often unforgiving world of fame. Alan David, born on December 29, 1941 in Wales, was 65 when he portrayed Emeridge in the 2007 To the Manor Born special. On-screen, Emeridge is a loyal servant, exuding quiet dignity, subtle melancholy, and dry humor amidst the absurdities of manor life. Off-screen, however, David's life reflected insecurity and professional obscurity. Raised in post-war poverty by parents working factory shifts, he endured neglect and bullying after moving to London, with his Welsh accent often making him a target. Acting became both escape and battleground, bringing financial instability and emotional strain. Though affiliated with the Royal Shakespeare Company for decades, David was frequently overlooked for lead roles, fostering quiet resentment. Known for perfectionism and paranoia, he often rewrote lines and suspected sabotage. The early 1990s brought a career setback when he was dismissed from a West End production after publicly confronting the director, effectively ending his prospects for major roles. Both of his marriages ended in divorce amid allegations of emotional cruelty and alcoholism. By the early 2000s, David lived modestly in North London, taking small parts while contending with arthritis. As of 2025, at 83, he remains largely solitary, relying on a modest pension and intermittent royalties, with a net worth of approximately $500,000. His career stands as a testament to a lifetime devoted to theater, leaving behind only a fading name and a small collection of stage posters as mementos. Alexander Armstrong, born on March 16, 1970 in Rothbury, Northumberland, was 37 when he appeared as Adam Forbes Hamilton in the 2007 To the Manor Born Christmas special. Adam is a charming aristocrat, bridging classic nobility with modern sensibilities, elegant yet turbulent, embodying both privilege and subtle sorrow. Armstrong brought natural wit and charisma to the role, but his private life was marked by tension and hidden struggles. Raised in a strict upper-middle-class household, valuing restraint over affection, Armstrong developed early obsessions with perfection and acceptance. His childhood at Durham School was characterized by emotional distance and teasing over his refined speech. Despite professional success with Armstrong and Miller, his career faced intense competition, creative disagreements, and private battles with identity and imposter syndrome. He reportedly clashed with Ben Miller over creative direction, leading to a near 2-year feud, and rumors circulated of his volatile temperament during pointless filming. Armstrong's marriage to Hannah Bronwyn Snow, while publicly stable, faced strains from extended absences and hidden struggles with depression caused by overwork. Now 55, he lives in Oxfordshire, balancing television, radio hosting, and music. His net worth is estimated at $5 million, including art property and royalties. Beneath the polished public image, Armstrong remains a restless, reflective figure, a modern, spiritual aristocrat navigating the pressures of fame while seeking recognition for his artistry. Blaine Fairman, born on December 26, 1941 in Canada, was 37 when he played Bob Roberts in To the Manor Born 1979. Though a brief role, Roberts showcased Fairman's quirky humor, resilience, and sharp wit, a reflection of an artist determined to navigate the rigid expectations of the entertainment industry. Fairman's early life was turbulent. His parents' violent separation when he was 8 led to frequent relocations among relatives, fostering a quiet resilience and his trademark comedic sensibility. Arriving in London in the late 1960s, he endured poverty nights in hostels and repeated rejection before gaining work in television and voice acting. His temper, impulsive gambling, and rumored scandalous relationships occasionally undermined his career, even as his talent became evident. By the mid-1980s, Fairman's reputation for unpredictability threatened to eclipse his accomplishments. Nevertheless, he pivoted to voice work and theater direction, building stability through commercials and narration. Personal life was complex. He experienced 2 divorces and estrangement from his children, though he later reconciled. In 2025, at 84, Fairman lives semi-retired in London, mentoring young actors and participating in theater workshops. His net worth is approximately $800,000, representing a modest yet respectable life. His legacy endures through the voices and characters he brought to life, a testament to perseverance, humor, and unwavering commitment to his craft. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel so you won't miss our upcoming content.